Hello everybody and welcome back to the Backroads. This is not Project MR2, which you usually see me in front of the camera for, nor is it a project at all. This is my shitbox daily driver, Toyota RAV4, and today is kind of a spiritual successor to Two Idiots and Some Tint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. When me and Liam tried to tint the T-bar tops for my MR2 because we didn't know what we were going to do, and this car is filthy. I have very proudly not cleaned it since I bought it in February. I bought it during the snowstorm that we had, kicked some blocks of ice off of it, ran it through a petrol station car wash and haven't touched it since. It's since been covered in oil inside, done many tip runs, had an engine fall over 2 or 3 times inside of it and dump oil everywhere from when we moved the 3S GTE, which we bought for the Project MR2 series. I bought it cosmetically Dodge as well. It was £1,000. It's done 134,000 miles now, probably by the time this video goes out at least. I might have done that yesterday, to be honest. But yeah, it's a high mileage 2004 RAV4 XT4 D4D, my daily driver, and I love it. It's brilliant. It does everything I need to do. It's good on fuel, it's comfy, and we're going to try and figure out how to clean it, polish it. We have a single action polisher, so that might not work at all. We don't know what we're doing. If you're here for a tutorial, you can stay for the fun and see the mistakes, but this is not for you. If you're here to find out how to do it, we might succeed, we probably won't. This is fair warning, I'm so sorry, but I hope you stick around and enjoy it, and let's see what we can do with it. Right, welcome to the walk around, where I will show you exactly how dodgy my car is cosmetically. So, if we come around to Zog, this was done by myself. This was not how I bought the car. I slightly scuppered up the fender. I got a call from the accounting woman at my work, and she scared me as I was pulling onto the driveway, and I drove into the house. So, yeah. That's the first thing. The wheels, as you can see, are in top condition, mint on this side. Definitely mint, concours spec, I would say. We have a lot of faded paint, just generally. We've got mud all over the vehicle because sometimes I get bored and I drive down dirt tracks on the way home because it's a fun shortcut. As I said, I have proudly been getting this car dirty for this video for 8 months. Actually, fun fact, I bought this car the morning we filmed the very first Project MR2 video because I bought this and then didn't drive it for a day or 2 because the MR2 was being used in the snow. This is the weirdest bit about the car, is this very unusual paint blemish. It's kind of like, I'm pretty sure it must have been resprayed previously before, and then it's reacted poorly beneath the paint and it's like bubbled up. I don't know, we're trying to figure it out. It's one of those things like, I can feel it as if it's on top of the paint, but I think it's part of the paint. So yeah, it's got nice, quite heavily tinted windows all around the back, which is nice, it looks good, but also annoying at night, quite annoying at night. Back wheel, yeah. Concours, mint. We have our seals on the fender are loose, they've kind of just dropped down into there, so that's got to really come off and be replaced at some point. Will I do it? Probably not. We have inside the car, it's a door, it is an actual door, which doesn't stay open properly because in the UK, because of rules where you have to see your tail lights, it only opens this far, which is stupid. Nobody wants that. So it has no check strap in it. I could get a US or an Irish one for £80, but I'm not going to spend that because that's close to 10% the value of the car, and that's too much. But the rear seats come out and it becomes a van, and it's amazing. We have the bumper, definitely been resprayed horribly. Kind of feels slightly fillery, I must admit. It's not great. Again, similar kind of paint bubbling beneath and lots of fade. This side's wheels aren't as bad, better than the other side, but the alloys just have this whole weird peeling issue on them, which doesn't quite make any sense. But the passenger side of the car is the better side of the car. Probably because I've not destroyed it as easily, so. Yeah, but to be fair, the scratch on the car is the only thing I did. Otherwise, everything, I bought the car like this, which is why it was £1,000. And it's the best daily I've ever had because it's just low worry. It does the job. It's not failed me yet. 134,000 miles. I've done 6,000 or 7,000 miles in it since buying it in about 8 months. So it does the miles. It's mostly just motorway driving. I do it, taking it to work. So yeah, that's the walk around. We're going to try and clean it now and fix it and make it look pretty.
The first step to any half decent detail is a good pre-wash, or a biohazard nuking in our case, which is something that the RAV4 certainly needed after the 8 months of abuse it's been through. Normally, if you're doing this at home, and if we had the right lance, we'd do a pre-rinse, which is then followed by a treatment of snow foam from a brand of your choice, to break down everything that's left on the car, which is then rinsed off once again before the next stage of decontamination, and the RAV4 bloody needed it.
So while we're doing this, getting it ready for cleaning, I'm just going to be cleaning up the wheels with some alloy cleaner just because right now these are pretty buggered. So if we can improve them, we've succeeded. If we can't improve them, they're already pretty shagged. So we'll see what we can do.
Using our iron activated wheel cleaner, we agitated the vast history of braking from the wheels before we then hit it with some proper alloy cleaner to bring back some kind of shine to these ratty wheels. No spiders were harmed in the making of this film, but they may have been incredibly soapy after a blast of chemical wash from our pressure washer to remove any harsh contaminants. This was then followed by an excellent agitation of the final bits of dirt with a hand shampoo scrubbed down for Zog the RAV4 before we tucked it back inside for the real work to begin with the machine polisher.
Right, welcome back to Inside the Workshop. The RAV has been decontaminated from the incredible amount of muck that I put on it. Sadly, I think we might have killed some wildlife. There was some stuff living behind the spare wheel, but it's come up pretty nicely. The wheels, I've picked a good side to stand on. They're looking quite nice, I think, actually, considering they're all ruined, but it's looking pretty all right. This is the symbol for today, mint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to wipe the car down because it's still a bit wet, get rid of any residue that's left on it, and then we're going to move towards trying to polish it. We're going to try and use the machine polisher because you might see Project MR2, I want to say episode 3, we did it might be 4, one of them. We detailed it and we hand polished with some autoclip hand polish, but we're going to try to single action on this one because the paint is pretty matte already, so we're not too worried about burning it up or anything like that because overall the car is pretty rough, so let's see how it goes. This feels rough. This feels really rough. Wow.
Well, I did bring some clay bars, but I'm not sure I'm going to waste them on the RAV, no disrespect.
No, I understand. I respect that. That's a whole, yeah, I wouldn't. We may need about 5.
I've got 4. You're still not using them though.
No, that's what I don't want to. It's all right. I don't want you to invoice me.
We have achieved precisely nothing with that wash. It's so bad, the paintwork. It's so difficult to try and show you that because you just get Jared's reflection in it.
It's incredibly rough to the touch, like you can feel it.
It's literally like sandpaper.
Like, this is all.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that's fairly easy to see, but
Bidding starts at £2,000. This is YouTuber history.
yeah.
£2,000, yours. Bidding starts.
It's yeah, it's not good. It's really not good at all. So I have no idea. If we get any sort of result out of this today, it's a victory. I don't even care what anyone says.
I mean, I've got a free wash basically because I've used all Liam's stuff, so I'm gone now.
No.
Bye.
Because I want to take you to a clay bar. I can pretty much guarantee there's going to be no difference.
I reckon he's going to smash it. Look at this. He's a beautiful boy, Liam. He's a beautiful boy.
Okay, so machine polisher. This is a single action machine polisher, which is not really ideal for polishing these days. You've got to be really careful because with single actions, you can moderate the speed of the actual pad, but it doesn't detect when you're pushing in too hard, so you can burn into the paintwork. Fortunately, it doesn't matter on this because anything is going to be an improvement potentially. So ideally, double action, dual action polisher is what you want, but today we're going to be using single action with some Auto Gleam Super Resin Polish, which apparently makes black come up quite nicely. So we'll see. We've never done this before. I've never done this before. Let the chaos begin.
As the most passionate car cleaner out of the two of us, by a lot, Liam took on the mantle of learning how to use a machine polisher first. After applying our polish to the sponge buffing pad, it was dabbed over the vast area of the bonnet section that we'd chosen, and the low and slow polishing began. Buffing the Auto Gleam polishes into the scarred paintwork of the RAV4 in a desperate attempt to make it look half decent. And because of the very, very poor condition of the paintwork, we really weren't hoping for much, but it provided an excellent testbed to develop a new skill, and maybe it would come out okay.
It is slightly darker, isn't it? Not by much, but slightly.
To finish off the polishing experiment on the bonnet, we fitted our wall pad to the machine polisher to buff off the last of the polish to see how good a job we had done.
Okay, so we've just finished doing one side of the bonnet, which has taken actually much longer than we expected. We didn't quite realise how bad of a condition the paintwork actually is. So even though it has been polished and it is much, much better, there is still very much scratches. There's still a lot of pitting. But I thought I'd show you the before and after. So on this side here is the before, and on the right-hand side of your screen is the after. Now, I am aware that a black car on camera is going to be incredibly difficult to show you the differences. However, what I can do is potentially
Technology.
show you this way. So you may want to come in from kind of the straight angle and up. But there's a considerable difference in the amount of scratches and paint swells. So,
Interestingly enough, it seems to show on this side, where we've unpolished, there's more flare to the light, and here it's a solid light.
that will then probably show you that that's got much more swelling. So regardless of the condition of the paint, the actual bonnet itself and the paint is a much richer color, much richer color. So we'll try and do this side now, and then we shall try and do a couple of fenders. We might not be able to actually do the whole car today because we're kind of running out of time. So we'll see what we can do, and worst case scenario, we've got a nice new front end, or shiny front end. Not new, but shiny.
It needs help. It needs a lot of help. It's too far gone. It needs clay bar. We need heavier cutting compound to properly save it. But this is a fun experiment. We're learning. So, I'm going to finish the bonnet. Whilst Liam's trying to finish polishing the bonnet and maybe some of the fenders, I am going to go around the car with some Maguire's black plastic restorer, because the black plastic is not black anymore and has not been for, I imagine, a number of years. So we're going to try and see if it works. I've never used it before. I always wanted to try to do it on my first car because it was a black Mini with massive black plastic fenders, but it always looked a bit dodgy and I never bothered, and I sold the car for 500 quid because it was broken, very broken. So yeah, we'll see how this works, mostly around the wing mirror, because as you can see, that's just grey, that's not black at all. Let's try to see if we can improve that at all. Cool, so I've put on the Maguire's back to black on this surround for the wing mirror, and we're just going to peel back this masking tape just so you can see the difference it's made, because it's quite significant. Boom. It's now dark grey, I'd say. It's dark grey instead of black, not light grey now, so we shall finish this off. So we've done the bonnet and one wing, and now Liam is going crazy and he won't stop trying to polish it.
Absolutely, why would I?
He's become addicted.
Well, anything cleaning based, of course I become addicted to, because I like things to look shiny.
I like shiny things.
I wouldn't call the RAV shiny.
It's shiny now, well the bonnet is.
I just would call it marginally cleaner than it was before.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, well, I said Liam's done the wing now, which is looking good as well. But the rest of the car is still pretty suspect. But it looks a lot better than before. We won't be doing a full body polish on it. This is us having fun and experimenting. There you go, and I'll kick that essentially close to you.
Thank you.
Because we're using Boggo polishes.
Literally Boggos, yeah.
But this is just experimentation, trying to figure out how to do this kind of stuff, because we've wanted to try it. You know, it's good to learn for the MR2, the 944, etc. But
well, this is it, isn't it? Because we want to like polish those cars, but not without knowing how to do it properly.
We don't want to risk their paint, so therefore I have provided an angelic service in the form of some of the worst paint I've ever seen on a car, and we can only improve it. So in future, I think lessons learned. Clay barring probably good for it so far, which we should do at some point. Heavier cutting compound,
definitely,
because we're using autoglym.
We've got
super
deep
resin
shine.
polish.
Yeah, so we've got super resin polish and paint renovator. It's making it look better. It's a deeper black, but it's
doing some work. It's doing the best it can. It's doing some serious heavy lifting right now, but I think we need to go a bit more specialist, heavier compounds, and the stuff you can pick up in Halford. So we'll try that again, but this is lessons learned. It's going well though. I would say it's a success.
I'd say so as well. For our first ever attempt at doing this, I'd say we've done pretty well.
After an intensive few hours of washing, lots of decontaminating, and a bit of polishing, Zog the RAV4 was restored. Cleaning the RAV4 has revealed just how bad the paintwork is on it, but it's also opened up some more opportunities for us to learn more about the restoration of the vehicle's looks. But for now, it won't be winning any awards at Salon Privé.
Thank you everybody so much for joining the RAV4 detailing journey. We've learned a single action polisher today, which is not as hard as we had thought. So that's a great transferable skill for the channel that we'll take to other vehicles, current, future vehicles of the TBR fleet. The RAV4 is looking cleaner, which makes me happy because it's got an MOT soon. So hopefully it will pass a bit better if they don't look at it immediately and go, horrible, bin it. So yeah, should be okay. You can check the MOT history for yourself because the MOT probably would have been done by the time the video goes out. Actually, it will. It go out on the day the MOT is done. So there you go. You can see if I've had a horrible time or not. Once again, thank you so much to LUDEN Automotive for letting us use the space. Make sure to check out their stock online. Check out their Instagram, etc., etc. And please leave a like and comment if you want to see us do more detailing videos. Let us know if there's any kind of, like, if you want us to explore clay barring, maybe respraying, alloy wheel restoration. As you can see, there's a lot we could do on this car, so let us know what you want. But please just keep sharing, keep liking, leave us some comments, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye.